The sun shone brightly, birds sang sweetly. It was a perfect day for an adventure. Jack and Lily were playing in the garden. They were looking for fairies.
Look, Lily!
Suddenly, Jack saw something sparkle. It was a trail of shimmering dust.
It's pixie dust.
They followed the magical trail. It led them to a tiny footprint. It was too small for a fairy.
This must be from a leprechaun!
Jack cried, his eyes wide with wonder. Lily giggled.
Let's build a trap and catch him.
She said. Jack loved the idea. They raced inside, eager to start their adventure. They were going to catch a real-life leprechaun. Jack and Lily gathered everything they needed. They used a cardboard box for the base of the trap. Lily carefully placed a soft, mossy bed inside.
Leprechauns like to be comfy,
She explained. Jack found a rainbow-colored ribbon. He tied it to a twig, creating a dazzling lure.
This will attract the leprechaun.
He said, his tongue sticking out in concentration. Lily giggled.
It looks like a tiny rainbow swing.
They worked together, their laughter echoing through the house. Finally, the trap was ready. It was a masterpiece of glitter, color, and childhood ingenuity. They couldn't wait to see if it would work. Jack and Lily carefully carried their trap outside, their faces glowing with excitement and anticipation. They had been planning this for weeks, and today was finally the day. They placed it under their favorite oak tree, the one with the thick, gnarled branches that seemed to reach out and protect them. Then they sprinkled the magical dust around it, watching as the tiny particles shimmered in the sunlight, creating a sparkling halo around their trap.
This will make the leprechaun see the trap, Jack explained confidently, pointing to the glittering dust.
Lily nodded and whispered, "And then we'll catch him and find his pot of gold." They hid behind a bush, their hearts pounding with anticipation. Every rustle of leaves made them hold their breath, hoping it was the leprechaun. The sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, casting a magical glow over the garden. Suddenly, the rainbow ribbon on their trap began to sway, as if touched by an invisible hand. A tiny giggle filled the air, a sound so light and joyful that it made Jack and Lily's hearts leap. A little head popped up from behind the box, eyes twinkling with mischief and curiosity. The leprechaun was small and jolly, with a mischievous twinkle in his eye that hinted at countless secrets and adventures. He wore a green suit and a tiny hat perched atop his head, looking every bit the magical creature they had imagined. He was even more amazing than they had imagined, a living embodiment of the magic and wonder they had always believed in. The leprechaun looked around in amazement, his eyes wide with wonder. He saw the sparkling dust, the rainbow ribbon, and the vibrant flowers that adorned the garden. There was even a cozy bed inside a beautifully decorated box, inviting him to rest.
"Well, now this is a fine welcome," he exclaimed, tipping his hat to the children.
He chuckled, his voice like the tinkling of bells, filling the air with a magical sound. Jack and Lily couldn't contain their excitement any longer. They had been planning this moment for weeks. They jumped out from behind the bush, their faces lit up with joy and anticipation.
We caught a leprechaun! Jack shouted, his voice echoing through the garden.
We caught a leprechaun, Lily echoed, her eyes sparkling with excitement.
They shouted, their faces beaming with joy as if they had just discovered a hidden treasure. The leprechaun laughed, his belly shaking like a bowl full of jelly, clearly enjoying the children's delight.
"You certainly did, little ones," he said, his eyes twinkling with mischief. "But I must say, this is the most delightful trap I've ever seen," he added, admiring their handiwork.
Jack and Lily were over the moon, their hearts swelling with pride and happiness. They had caught a real-life leprechaun, and he was friendly. It was a day they would never forget. The leprechaun spent the evening telling Jack and Lily fantastic stories. His voice was filled with wonder and excitement, capturing the children's imaginations with every word. He spoke of magical creatures and hidden treasures. Each tale was more enchanting than the last, painting vivid pictures of far-off lands and mystical beings. He even taught them a secret leprechaun jig. The children laughed and danced, their feet moving in sync with the leprechaun's nimble steps. As the moon rose high in the sky, casting a silvery glow over the forest, it was time for him to go. The night had been magical, but all good things must come to an end.
"Thank you for the lovely time and for the magnificent trap. Your creativity and kindness have truly touched my heart."
He reached into his pocket and pulled out a tiny golden acorn. It shimmered in the moonlight, a symbol of the magic they had shared.
This is for you. May it always remind you of the magic of friendship. Keep it close and let it be a beacon of the wonderful times we've had,"
he said, handing it to Lily. Her eyes sparkled with joy as she accepted the precious gift. Jack and Lily watched as the leprechaun disappeared into the night, leaving behind a trail of sparkling dust. The forest seemed to glow with the remnants of his magic. They had learned that the true treasure wasn't gold, but the magic of friendship and the joy of creating something wonderful together. Their hearts were full, and they knew they had made a friend for life, and that, they knew, was a treasure worth more than all the gold in the world. The golden acorn would forever remind them of this magical night and the bond they had formed.